Goliath by Liberty, probably, and not probably, the quietest 45 caliber, it's really an 11.6 caliber, 11.6 millimeter suppressor I've ever shot. Hey guys, what's up? Caleb Downing here, and today we have, I think the largest, I know, this is the largest suppressor that we have to date to check out. So let's talk about this. This is the Goliath from Liberty Suppressors. Let's get into it. All right, so disclaimers and stuff right out of the way. Goliath. Liberty did send me the Goliath for review on the channel, for use on the channel and all that, so I'm very appreciative to them. I'm also really appreciative I cannot remember your name, you're lost in the comments somewhere, but one of you viewers actually asked about this specifically, and that's what got me to talking to Liberty and what got them to sending this thing out. So you guys talking about stuff in the comments, asking questions about specific cans, that really helps. It helps me to know what you guys want to see. It also helps other, the companies to see that people are actually interested in this stuff, right? So I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys that have asked about different suppressors. And you specifically, forget your name right now, it makes me sound like I'm not very sincere about this, but I am. Appreciate you commenting about this and asking this. So hopefully this will answer some questions that we have. This is a very interesting can. It's a very interesting can. Let's go over some specs. Let's go over what comes in the box. We'll shoot it, and then we'll talk about what I really think about the can. All right, so let's dive into some specs and what comes in the box. All right, specifications, we're gonna read this straight off their website, so there's no miscommunication here. The caliber is 11.6 millimeters, it's pretty large. Length is 10 inches, diameter is 2 inches. The construction material is titanium for the tube, core, and rear cap, and stainless steel threaded insert. The weight is 20 ounces. Approximate decibel reduction, it doesn't say what caliber this is on, but it approximates 31 to 33 decibels in reduction. The finish is C-Series Cerakote, and the mounting type is direct thread, 5/8 by 24, and 5/8 by 32 insert included. When you pair it with something like the X-Star EP45, this really becomes a fun suppressor. EP45 is very lightweight, so just a fun experience overall. I should note that Liberty does make a variety of different thread pitches for direct thread only, no QDs and no pistol boosters or anything like that, but they do make some different thread pitches if you need a specific thread pitch, and they make custom thread pitches for direct mounts if you need that. All right, minimum barrel length restrictions, you have 10.5 inches if you're shooting 458 SOCOM, 450 Bushmaster, 375 SOCOM. You have 14 inches or longer if you're using 45 Raptor, 4570 or 444 Marlin, and 24 inches minimum if you're using the Magnum calibers like 338 Lapua, 338 Norma, 338 Weatherby, and I'm assuming any other Magnum calibers. That 24 inches is the shortest that they want you to go. All right, so the stuff that comes in the box, you do get a insert already inserted in here, a direct thread. You have 5/8 by 24 and 5/8 by 36, I believe is what it was. I'm not sure who uses the 5/8 by 36. I'm not quite aware of that, but these are big bore. This is a big bore can, right? Yeah, you can obviously tell this looks obnoxious, but it works. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's a very large can, and because of that, this is a niche can. I need to say that right up here. This is a pretty niche can for big bores. You're not going to put this on your AR-15, probably not. Not a standard 5.56. It's way overboard for a 5.56. Right? For some other calibers on the AR platform, we will shoot that, and they do work well for that. But direct thread only. That's something I need to make sure I hit, because I cannot find anywhere anybody that makes any other QD or booster assemblies. This is not a universal mounting pattern back here as far as the thread pitch goes. This is their own thing. I don't know anybody else that makes mounts for these, all right? But you get your can itself, that's what comes in the box, your 2 different mounts, talked about that. You get an instruction manual, warnings, and warranty kind of stuff, information pamphlet right there. You get a little swag sticker, that's pretty neat. You do also get, who makes this? Armageddon Gear. You get a nice suppressor cover. This thing is actually pretty nice. You can tighten it up, which you are gonna need to do that if you plan on leaving this on the gun for a long time and running it with this thing. But you can use, it's not a bungee cord, it's like a shoelace kind of thing, but you can use this to make sure it doesn't come off the suppressor. The different ways you can tie that. Maybe I'll make a video about that at some point. But it's nice. You can secure this thing to your suppressor, and he fits it. It's specifically made for it, so he fits it just like so. Don't fall over. There you go. So that's what comes in the box. That's some specs. Let's go shoot it. We're going to shoot this guy on, I don't have all the calibers that they have as far as it's listed, because this is a big bore can. The biggest bore that I have is 458 SOCOM. So we do have a 458 SOCOM. Appreciate my Patreon guys. One of those guys provided that, so that's really cool. But a 458 SOCOM. Then we also have 4570. We're going to shoot it on some 300 blackout, just kicks and giggles, see what happens, 300 blackout. And also, I know we talked about how this does not have boosters, but I really wanted to shoot this on a 45 pistol. I couldn't get it to work on a 1911 because it has a tilting barrel. So I went out and I got a high point because it does not have a tilting barrel. It's got a fixed barrel. And I shot it on that guy. That was fun, super cool. You'll see the results hopefully. Really, really neat. But for that, we just had to use an adapter for one thing to another. It was kind of complicated, but we got it to work. That was pretty cool. So we'll shoot it on 45 pistol and a 45 carbine. This guy right here from X-Star. We'll shoot it on that guy. So I think that's everything we're going to shoot it on. Let's go ahead and hit the range, see what it sounds like, and then come back here and talk about it. Goliath wet.
Oh yeah. That's fire.
Alright guys, so like I said, this is a pretty niche can. As far as it being large bore stuff, right? This is not something that probably everybody's going to run out and get as their first can. Probably not. This is more of a specific kind of thing. I really like it. I really like it on the X-Star. On this little guy right here. This shorty little 45 cal pistol caliber carbine thing. This was fun. If 45 was cheaper to shoot and just not as expensive as it was, this is really quiet and really, really fun. And as ridiculous as it was, the Goliath on that 45 pistol, on that high point, I know that's like, you could buy like 16 high points for the cost of this thing. Not really, but you could buy a bunch of them. That was so fun. Even my kids were able to shoot it and stuff. It's a heavy thing when you set it all up like that with that pistol, but it was super fun. And I say that to say, for a 45 caliber can, this does very, very well. For this size of a can, 20 ounces, I mean, if you think of a 20 ounce can, I mean, generally you might think that that's a pretty heavy can, but when you consider what this thing can suppress, how large this is, what it's specifically for, I think they did something really cool. I think they did something really cool. It's very simplistic in its design and everything, and it operates great. Even on 4570, like 4570 is a really fun round to shoot. Again, if it wasn't so expensive, I'd shoot way more of it. The 458 SOCOM, like, yeah, I liked that. I would like it. It's a 16-inch barrel that I have right now. If I could chop that thing down to 10.5, I don't want to reduce the ballistics that thing has right now. I just kind of want to leave it as is, but I could really see that as a good backup gun on like a bear hunt. Yeah, that would be really, really nice. And being able to suppress it and not be blasting your ears out, that would be nice. That would be nice. Alright, so my only gripe with the Goliath has to do with the mounting system. It suppresses everything that I shot through it. It suppressed it well for what it's for, right? If you put this on a 5.56 and went shooting on a 5.56, it's just not gonna sound that great, just given the size, the bore diameter and all that stuff. but it sounded great for what it's made for what it should be used for. The mounting, I really wish they had gone with some other thread pitch pattern hub. They could have gone with hub. Standard 1 3/8 by 24, because then you could use whatever mounting system you want to use on this. You're not stuck with a direct thread. I really wish they'd have done that. And if you'd have done that, then it could have easily gone on a 1911, because I could have thrown a booster assembly in there. So I really don't know why they went with this thread pattern. I'm sure they have a reason. It's just a hurdle that I have to deal with myself. I don't know. But aside from that one hiccup, I think this is a great can. It's kind of expensive. I think it sits around like $1,400 or something like that. Kind of an expensive can, but it's titanium. Titanium ain't cheap. For the size of the can, it's lightweight. If this was an all steel can, that'd be really, really heavy. But for what it's for, a niche, large bore suppressor, I think it does good, I think it does well. My mom will get mad at me for that. I think it does well. So let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Are big bore suppressors like this, is this overkill? If you're shooting a big bore gun, are you gonna be wearing Ear Pro and everything anyway and you're not really worried about it? Or do you see a use for this? Or what would you do with this? Would you make some kind of Frankenstein shorty little 45 cal something, or chop down, you know, a 45-70 for like a brush gun with a suppressor? I feel like it could do some really, really cool things, but I want to hear back from you guys. What do you see this guy being used for the best? What would you use it for? And is this something you guys would be interested in? All right, y'all be good to be safe. I appreciate Liberty for sending this thing out. Sorry it took me so long to get the review out. Appreciate you sending this thing out. Really cool can. Excited to see what you guys have in the future. Excited to see what you guys say in the comments. And I'm done. That's it. Y'all be good to be safe. Appreciate you, and hopefully we'll catch you guys in the next video. See you.